Luka's gonna be big for the NBA, but he's not gonna be figurehead big. Like,
Tatum should have been the figurehead, to be real.
yeah, but he don't have it.
Yeah, he doesn't have it.
He doesn't have it.
John Morant, he's not gonna have it. Bro, she's gonna be a lot bigger than like Sabonis or like Jaren Jackson Jr. and those guys. If we're keeping it real,
Yo, honestly, so crazy. You said John Morant doesn't have it. He had it,
no, he
but
has it, but he's not healthy enough and too much controversy behind him.
yo, I didn't even think that it's a controversy thing now. I think, personally, I don't think he wants that shit no more.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think he got traumatized with that shit. He doesn't seem like he wants the spotlight no more. It's weird.
I mean, he's sharing it with Jaren Jackson Jr. this year.
Yeah, like he used to talk a lot, parade in my city, all these dances. I don't know. He seemed very toned down nowadays, bro.
No poses.
Yeah, it's just very toned down. Like I'm like, damn, they toned him down. That shit's
Yeah,
kind of crazy. But if I was Adam Silver, I would have sit down with him like, yo, just continue what you're doing, and we need it, bro. Like we don't need you to be muted, bro. We
dude,
just don't
kids
need you
love
to put no
Lamelo Ball.
guns. Stop with the
Kids love
guns.
kids love Lamelo Ball despite him being on a shit team.
True, but I felt like the kids loved Ja Morant more because he was so animated.
And he was on a better team.
Yeah, it's just now
Yeah,
like they really muted the dude, bro. They
they
really
chopped his
muted
balls
him.
off.
Yeah, he's not the same, bro.
No, no,
The
no.
other night he played against the Knicks, man. Super quiet.
Like that's what I was thinking. I'm like, man, when did Jackson Jr. like become more marketable than him? And then I thought to myself, like, because Jaren is not a like he's I don't know. I mean, I watched an interview, but he's not that crazy charismatic. So I'm like, damn, like when did Jaren Jackson Jr. started like getting spotlight on this team? And then I
Yeah,
realized, like, yo, Jaw, like there hasn't been a moment where Jaw just like takes over media.
yeah. And then before you couldn't miss it. The dances,
No, the dancing, the pose, the dunks,
the slogans, parade inside my city. It's
and his
like,
dad on the sideline, like hyping him on. It was badass.
yo, they really fucking knew. Yo, the league can't afford to neuter him. They could neuter him with the guns, but other than
Yeah,
that, for social media and him being turned up for that, they can't afford that. It's too much free promotion. That guy was yo, he's basically what they wanted Zion to be with social media.
yeah,
Like Zion was supposed to be that, and Zion
yeah.
is not
Zion was
is
supposed
not
to be
that.
that, but he's not hasn't been healthy, and
Yeah,
I don't know. Zion has his own problems too with a little bit of his like his health and kind of like his health, like dietary, and even that whole girl fiasco, which we kind of laugh at. But if you're the league, you don't want that image either, man,
so
of
you so
your
you,
player like
so
having a porn star.
so you think the
You know
league
what?
the league kind of moved off of him, low key?
Low key, I mean, the league still promotes him, right? Like I've seen ESPN commercials with his face, but I think like obviously if you're like as big as the NBA, the last thing you want is a porn star putting your putting their name or associating with your players, especially when you're like a family friendly program. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what? Sometimes I feel like with him getting caught up in that situation, I felt like that was him kind of coping with the pressure of being the figurehead and kind of saying like I don't want it, but instead of saying I don't want to be the figurehead, he got caught up with the girl and
But he's
that was
also
his
like
way out.
he's also really young, right? We like and like these girls are very accessible to him, right? Because like you look at the Drea Mitchell situation, she's like she could be like Jalen Green's mom. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? But still, they're so accessible and they're young. So players like these people, they kind of like a lot of these girls, they take advantage of that. You also see that with PJ Washington too, from the Dallas Mavericks, and I think it was Brittany Griner or one of the girls kind of exploited him and got pregnant from him, man.
Yeah, but there's a certain thing like when you I feel like sometimes in the NBA and they know you have the potential to be the face, it's
Yeah,
almost like a presidential role.
But they also want you to like have your family out there, like Steph Curry. You know, Aisha Curry, like she had her controversial moments, right?
Hmm.
But people still love like the Riley Curry kind of press conferences and those cute moments where I'm way up, I feel blessed, and like Chris Paul and Blake Griffin's kid coming to the podium with them and having those funny moments, and obviously Bronny James and Savannah James, Kobe's daughters. The league really likes us. Like the league wants to predicate not only on the and Deuce was it Deuce Tatum, right? The little kid
Oh yeah,
for
yeah,
Jason.
yeah. Jason
Deuce
Tatum's
Tatum,
son,
and then
Deuce. Yeah.
Julius Randle's son. He's someone people find cute, like when he's sleeping in the games and all that stuff. So people really like that kind of stuff, and that's what the NBA kind of wants to market is, these guys are everyday guys and they're family man and kind of like a Cosby Show image. You know what I mean? They don't
Yeah.
want like porn stars and influential like influencers kind of like finding their way into these pictures, man.
Yeah, but the thing is with Zion, it was different. See, like when the league is preparing to like use you as a figurehead, or
Yeah,
like kind of scope if you're a potential figurehead, they treat you different. And the treatment
yeah,
Zion was getting was, you could tell, was figurehead treatment. It was almost like
yeah, of
he's the
course.
next one up. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
No tattoos, like a really clean image, clean cut guy.
I don't even think it was all that. I just think he could have had tattoos or whatever. I just think he fumbled it with the pressure, the weight gain, the pressure, and then the porn star was the seal. It was like
Yeah,
stamp, seal, delivered. It was almost like, yeah, he's not the guy. Like I felt like
he's not
Adam
the guy.
Silver and all of them said, even LeBron was like, damn, he's not the figurehead. He doesn't have it to be the figurehead because what did they do with Zion? Those Jordan commercials, he looked like he was the guy, bro. Even even
Yeah,
even in the bubble, right? In the bubble, Zion, his team did not even was not even near making the playoffs, but they still somehow found a way to like make up an excuse to put the Pelicans in the bubble, and Zion still was injured and did not play in the bubble.
yeah,
Like that's how you could tell that he was on his way of being a figurehead. Like they were going out of their way to feature his games. And after a while, it
yeah.
was just like, yo, bro, like, nah, man,
You're
like,
caught up in too much.
yeah,
Yeah,
at first they thought probably it was injuries, and then after a while, when you see the weight gain, he gained way too much weight while being in the league.
yeah.
That first
And then
time
you see
around,
like the porn star fiasco. You're like, man, this is just
yeah,
too much for
yeah, the
me at
porn
that
star
point.
fiasco after that happened, that was it. It was almost like,
That
nah,
was it. It's
he
like
can't be the
how can you
figurehead.
put this in front of like kids and shit,
Mm-hmm.
Because like, you just not to like. I think the thing with the family thing, I'm saying that's because like you can look up these guys and you'll see like a positive kind of like thing about them. Like people criticize them obviously when it comes to like on the court, but off the court you can still find some like positivities, right? Like Steph Curry and like LeBron, you'll still find them like having like they're good with their family, their family men, Taco Tuesday, all that stuff, right? And people kind of like drive that crazy. People love it. They make money off of it. You could advertise it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I think did Taco Bell ever cut a deal with LeBron? But I know they for sure made a couple of Taco Tuesday tweets.
I don't think so. Maybe his price was too high.
But they for sure made Taco Tuesday tweets.
They did, but LeBron at the end of the day, when he did his Taco Tuesday, he never mentioned them.
No, he doesn't mention a brand, but if you're Taco Bell, you're kind of like fuck yeah, we're happy.
Yeah, at the end of the day, like I'm telling you, with Zion, he didn't want it, bro. He didn't want to be. He didn't
No,
like the mantle that was trying to put him on because being the figurehead comes with a lot.
it comes with a price, and
Yeah.
like that's why I say like guys like James Harden, like he did a he did a good job in not trying to get involved in that shit because I never really saw James Harden try to be a figurehead.
Yeah, because his way of avoiding being the figurehead is being with the strippers. Once they see you
Yeah,
do stuff like that, they know instantly that's you rejecting being the figurehead.
and Kawhi did a good job of that too. I got to give him his props when he started bringing family and New Balance.
See, that's the thing though. The league, but eventually at some point, the league for the money to keep rolling in the way it is, they're gonna need someone to do that.
But you also like you kind of need the perfect player, right? And that's kind of hard to mold, if we're being honest, right? And I think like I wonder how the NBA does that in the future, where they're like, man, like they're gonna for sure encourage something like they're gonna for sure encourage like players kind of fixing up their image and keeping girlfriends and wives and kind of becoming a face of the league that way, where they're much more presentable on and off the court.
I don't know, man. I feel like the social media shit, because LeBron, it was kind of easier for him to transition into that because when he was
Yeah.
coming up, there was no social media like that.
Yeah, but he also was able to kind of like LeBron had that image of like this is my high school sweetheart and I'm the perfect like perfect gentleman like figure, which he lived up to because there's not controversies within LeBron's resume. You know, the thing is the NBA, no, like the NBA after LeBron kind of became infallible, like the perfect franchise player. Before then, like we all knew kind of like the faults in the franchise players that are top of the NBA. Like we knew like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was like he had some challenging political views for that status quo of that time. You look at Magic Johnson, obviously with HIV. You look at Michael and kind of like the gambling addiction. So there was a lot of chink in the armor with a lot of these players. And Shaq kind of like, you remember Shaq kind of getting always caught up with the women too. There was always chink in the armor, right? But when LeBron came, he changed that. Because LeBron came in, he's a family man. There's not much controversies. Same girls since high school, et cetera, et cetera. There wasn't much controversies. You don't hear anything like coming out news of like a potential divorce.
But I
You
think, but
know,
but I think a lot of that was brand prepping from Nike.
yeah, of course. I mean, dude, of course it's gonna be outside influence, right? But that was so successful. Now they want all players to live up to that expectations of no chink in the armor kind of player.
Yeah, but that's the thing though that takes
That's hard.
someone's gonna
It's
want to do
hard.
that. It's almost like being present. Like you see the role that like Obama plays, like that's charismatic guy that's married with the children. That's all something that he's been prepped to do
And
and stick to the script. Like,
yeah, I mean, dude, it's hard because we're all humans, right? So there's always going to be desiring needs and all that shit, right?
mhm.
Like we're all humans, and when you're a human of power, like Zion Williamson, like a lot of these basketball players, right? It's hard to like convince them, yo, like if you continue on with this family route, you're gonna make a lot more money. Because like when everything's accessible, you're not gonna say no. It's hard to say no. But like I said, it's a good impact on the league. Like I'm not gonna like sit here and act like LeBron, like his family dynamic, everything like is good for a lot of young kids and everything like that. And overall, it's good for the league. You know, like the fact this guy has no controversies, but it's something that is going to be hard to live up to, and it's a good standard to have for NBA. To be honest with you, because you know, when in a league full of like black athletes, people already try to paint a negative image. So the fact like LeBron and like Steph Curry, despite being like black athletes, are able to paint a positive image is good for everyone. To be honest, it's good society. It's good for NBA. It's good for brands. It's good for like all around America and all around the world.
Yeah, it is. But at the end of the day, like I feel like it's the social media dynamic, man, that's really changing that
Yeah.
whole
They're
situation.
too accessible now.
It's not even that. It's just the criticism and the scrutiny never ends. At least
Yeah.
LeBron spent the first four. At least LeBron spent the first 4-5 years without that shit really being the way it is now.
Yeah, and I think Magic, Shaq, Mike, they kind of got lucky that they didn't live through that social media. Because, like, imagine, for example, if Kobe, in his case, appeared during the social media time, he'd probably be assumed guilty before even a case.
Oh yeah, facts. Yeah, I remember Michael
Yeah,
Jordan. Michael Jordan talked about that social media. He said had he been around with social media, he probably would have retired earlier.
yeah, 100%. Because there's no sense of privacy, right? And obviously with women, right? Like we've seen Zion Williamson get caught up in DMs with women. So like everything is accessible, and everyone kind of looks for like a way to like a got you moment, and that's the kind of like that's the unfortunate part because a lot of these guys are 20s with money, right? And 20s with money, what do you're about to do some dumbass shit with that money.
Yeah. Yo, Samir, I appreciate you, man. You guys definitely
Yeah,
check out
take
his
care, bro.
newsletter in the description below. Check out his Substack. Dope articles. Keep up to date, man, with all what's going on in the league. And this has been
And subscribe to Orange Cookies, man.
definitely appreciate you, man. Another dope conversation, man. And we're gonna link up again, man, for sure.
For sure, for sure. Take
All
care,
right,
man.
man. Stay up. Peace.